here.
Tell me, I've got this.
Okay, who's...
Give it to me. You want it? You got it.
Cool.
Don't worry about me. I've got this.
All right. Wait, Nira? Were you?
You! Hey, you! Yes, you! I don't see anybody else around here. A little help, please?
Of course, what do you need?
There's bandits. Vicious, magic bandits. They must have gone to advanced bandit school or something. They're trying to capture me.
Very well, I shall defend you from these bandits.
My hero. Now, where are the rest of your men hiding? I'll be honest. I was betting on you having a legion of soldiers because you'll need it, and oh goodness, they're here.
So, you would try to hide from us behind this unfortunate fool. Your cowardice proves as deadly as your reckless magic.
You're the one trying to capture me, and I still don't know what you want, so I'd rather not let it happen. Get out of here before me and my new friends decide to eject a fist into your mouth.
You there, stand aside and give me the girl. Surely you won't risk your life for a stranger.
Looks like she's with me now. What can you offer to change that?
What can I offer you? Why, only the most precious reward imaginable. Your continued existence.
Then no.
If you wish to die for this wild mageling, so be it.
Away with you, you pompous creep!
Not again.
Kendall, where did you go? We can't let her escape. Slaughter them all, and we'll sort this out once we find him.
Okay.
Go, go! I am really sorry about what just happened. I didn't want to involve you, but if I hadn't run into you when I did, they'd be elbow deep in my brains right now.
What will you do now? Surely Ekandor will return at some point.
Since you were kind enough to save me from those wizardly thugs, I was wondering if I could stay with you for a while. For your protection, as well as mine. I swear, I'm quite a skilled spellcaster. I can hurl a fireball like you wouldn't believe.
Okay.
Fantastic! Let me just get my... well, nothing. I'm ready to go now.
Okay, I want to see what her stats are. So let's remove Imoen for a second. I saved before talking to her, so we can just redo this fight, I guess. Worst case. She has a gem bag? Damn. She got some pretty cool stuff. A staff +1. Ugh. Okay. She's neutral. Quarterstaff. Okay. I feel like we should probably not talk to
What
her
do you
yet.
need? You want it? You got it.
I'm hoping she'll still be there if we don't talk to her. Because you could come, we could come and pick her up later. So we've never been in those homes. Is it locked? No, it's not.
I'm gone.
Tell me, I've got this.
Hello, mate. You look a friendly
Ha,
face.
by what right are you in mine house? I'm sorry for intruding, but I was just wondering what you were doing. What I'm doing be no concern of yours. Leave at once, lest I call the guards. Okay, what am I gonna leave?
What you want? I've done had enough of this.
Effective. I may not kill you after all.
I'm obviously not leaving. Well, it's annoying that she stays there.
Give it to me. Don't worry about me. I've got this.
Yep. This way.
Nothing at all here. Estegon's history follows a different path than those of Durpar and Var. The Gundars were conquered in 551 DR by Reinhar I, war chief of the Archaeans of Denbrath. Estegon regained its independence when Reinhar was slain by the Alruan Archmage Mikuntil, though the country soon degenerated into a group of small independent city-states. Skirmishes with Var and between the city-states continued for several centuries until a king once again united the country. King Borniel was a skilled ruler, and under him Estegon began to prosper. His descendants did not share his wisdom, and in 1053 DR, King Salkarin more than illustrated this. He had failed to conquer Durpar, and Veldorn resisted his challenges. An avowed misogynist, Salkarin turned his attentions to the Matriarchy of Dembrath. He led a large fleet to attack Dembrath, taking extreme losses, including his own life. Salkarin died childless, so his brother Seltarir was crowned king. The new ruler faced a country with most of its fighting men gone and an unforeseen problem: famine. The famine was caused by a blight that wiped out nearly all the year's crops in Estegon. This made him eager for a deal posed by the Durparian merchant Geradim, and in a legendary trade, the entire country of Estegon was sold. Contrary to popular rumor, Seltarir did not trade away the country for 24 pearls. In actuality, he received diamonds worth almost 1,000,000 gold pieces. The sudden wealth gave him an instant seat on the Council of Merchants, so he retained a measure of rule in addition to his fortune. Cheka Seltarir is still the richest Cheka in Estegon to this day. In the years that followed, the Gundars began rebuilding their lives under the new circumstances, and now they compete on equal footing with the merchants of Durpar and Var. Okay. Well, I mean,
What do you need?
good,
Don't
good
worry
for
about
him,
me.
I guess.
You want it? You got it.
Okay, I want to get out and
You
get
want
back in
it?
and see if
You
she's
got
there.
it.
Yeah, she's there.
I care not.
Yeah, that's super
I'm
annoying.
I serve the flaming fist.
You're a queer fellow. This way.
No. I wish it'd stay here.
I serve the flaming fist.
I thought maybe if I went like fast enough. Well, you know what? I'm trying to take a look at what's in there.
I serve the flaming fist.
Nothing worth dying for, to be
What do you
honest,
need?
or fighting,
I've got this.
or losing whatever very
I've
few
got this.
little reputation I do have. So no, we're good. Actually, let's go back here because there's another one here.
You're a queer fellow. I'm gone.
Tell me, you want it? You got it.
Keep your distance, ye goody goody.
What you want?
I know like the
Give it to me
smell of
straight. You want it?
charity.
You got it.
Life's been getting prickly on me eyes.
Burglars, explain thyself, lest the guard lose you from your life. No need to call the guards, I just had a desire to see this fine house from within. I don't know whether you are a fool or a liar, but it's best for thee that I cannot decide. You have a chance to leave before I call the watchman. Best that you make your next move a wise one.
Yep. I'm gone.
They're all moving to protect their valuables. That's interesting. I mean, these are just books. They don't usually care for books. The founding of the Dale Lands long preceded the creation of any of the existing Dales by hundreds of years, and the year numbering system known as Dale Reckoning is actually a commemoration of humankind being given permission to settle in the lands north and west of the Inner Sea. Most of the current Dales are relative newcomers, the other having been abandoned, destroyed, or overrun long ago. In those ancient days when Suzail and Chundathan, now called Saerloon, were mere coastal trading posts, the elves who ruled this forest entertained a request from settlers from the east. Refugees and farmers from far off Impeltur and Damara. This request was to farm and settle the borders of the great forest Cormenthor, in particular the rich delves and dales along the rivers Arkan and Ashaba. These newcomers did not wish to lumber or clear the uninhabited forest, but only to settle in the rich territories on its edges, and unlike some other settlers, early Sembia comes to mind, were willing to ask permission. The lords of the Elven Court granted that request in return for aid from these new Dale lenders against outside aggression, both monstrous orc and goblins from the lands of Thar, and human, the rising powers in Cormyr and Sembia. In commemoration of this pact, humans and elves raised the standing stone that is now seen where the Moonsea rides reaches Ratovir's road, the road from Esembra to Ilsfar. It is from the date of the raising of the stone that Dale Reckoning is counted. According to the pact made, the Dalesmen would only settle those regions that were unforested or unclaimed by the elves. As the elven woods receded under the axes of further invaders and settlers, old Dales perished and new ones came into being along the borders of the woods. People both good and bad have raised petty nations in Dale lands since, though any one Dale that turned against the pact would have to deal with the others. Each of the Dales is a large swath of farm and fields, with a few scattered settlements and usually one central marketplace, capital, or Dale center. These centers are often, but not always, named after the Dales they are in, adding to the confusion as to what is a Dale land's territory. The Dales are not city-states, for their largest groupings of population rate as towns at best, and they lack the defensive walls common throughout the heartlands. They are neither true nations in the fashion of Cormyr or Sembia, and occupy a grey middle ground wherein they are nothing more or less than Dales. Each dale has slightly different laws, customs, and military organizations. Many rely on the work of charismatic heroes and adventuring companies for aid in times of trouble, and a large number of these individuals use the region as a base. This attraction for adventurers is further increased by the large number of elven and pre-elven ruins in the area and the departure of the elven court for Evermeet, leaving the woods open for exploration and exploitation. The history of the Dales is filled with battles and attacks of its various members. In the Year of the Worm, 1356, Scardale, under the command of Lashan Amersair, launched a number of swift attacks, conquering a number of the surrounding Dales. A coalition of forces from the others, as well as Sembia, Cormyr, Zentelkeep, and Zentelkeep, crushed the invaders and occupied Scardale. During the time of troubles, 1358, Shadowdale was attacked by Zentelkeep. More recently, the Dalelands have committed forces to a unified army under King Azun IV of Cormyr to turn back the Tuigan invasion. That's interesting because we already read that one. Interesting because Icewind Dale is essentially a dale. So I'm like, it's probably all tied to the story of that, which is super interesting.
I serve the flaming fist.
So they do.
I'm gone.
Well, at least I'll unlock it, because that's free
What
XP.
do you need? Don't worry about me. You want it? You got it.
Man, people guarding their house are annoying. Just let me rob you in peace, man. That's all I want. Is there the North Fort? I'm pretty sure we read. Well, yeah, we read that one. That one I don't think we read. In the waning summer months of 1367, an immense orc horde descended from the spine of the world, intent on winding its way south into the trade lands of the north. This force of orcs, led by King Grineer, surged its way south between the Moonwood and the Coldwood, stopping just outside the Citadel of Many Arrows. King Obold, orc ruler of the Citadel of Many Arrows, was terrified at the prospect of another orc horde, despite the fact that he knew they should be working together against the humans of the north and the spawn of Elgate Keep. His tribal shamans, however, had been predicting a treacherous fall of the Citadel, and they told the king that he'd be disposed by other orcs. Thus, it was a dark day when King Grineer and his horde of 150,000 orcs appeared on the plains outside the Citadel of Many Arrows. King Obold announced to his followers that this horde had been sent to dislodge them from their home and send them out to be scavengers among the plains. He vowed that as Grumsh, I guess Grummish maybe? As his witness, the Citadel of Many Arrows would slaughter these treacherous orcs like elves during a festival. For 4 months, the 40,000 orcs within the Citadel held their ground. Assault after assault was mounted against the high walls of the garrison, but the attacking orcs were losing far more than the defenders. Still, the living conditions within the walls, never too good to begin with, created losses of their own. The battle for the Citadel of Many Arrows culminated during the first week of Uktar, as another light blanket of snow sought to bury the gathered orcs. King Grineer threw his entire remaining army at the Citadel, bursting its gates and pitting orcs against orcs in a flurry of swords. As the two orc kings sought one another out along the ramparts, the Citadel began to burn. The orcs that survived the battle still speak of the extraordinary prowess of the two kings as they battled one another before their troops. Finally, however, King Obold ran Grineer through with his long sword, but Obold was severely wounded by the time Grineer had breathed his last breath. The orcs erupted into battle once again, and no one is quite certain what became of King Obold. It was through the smoke and snow that the victors of the conflict emerged. The dwarves of Clan Warcrown, along with a contingent of troops from Silvery Moon. Charging in through the shattered gates, these new attackers quickly routed the exhausted orcs of the Citadel, sending them scurrying off into the wilderness. King Emerus Warcrown now rules the citadel of Many Harrows. Though the dwarves now call the city by its old name of Felbar, most in the north still tend to refer to the city as the citadel. However, waiting to see if it can withstand the next Orc horde. King Warcrown has put out a call for all dwarves to help defend the citadel, and news of a new vein of gold and silver is spreading rapidly through the dwarven communities. That's pretty fucking cool, dude. That story was nice. I liked it.
Tell me.
Let's go.
This. I've got this.
Let's leave this place. Guys annoying.
You want it? You've got it.
I don't know if we entered here before.
This way.
I don't think we did. Pretty sure it's the first time.
Don't worry about me. I've got this.
Yeah, I think it's the first time.
Yep, this way.
The history of the Dragon Coast is the history of money, particularly the darker side of the coin. Situated on the main trade routes between the Inner Sea and the Sword Coast, these lands never coalesced into a solid, coherent nation like Cormyr or Sembia. Instead, small petty city-states have risen and fallen, powered by greed and the most powerful merchants or pirate faction of the day. As a result, the Dragon Coast has always been the home of the smuggler, the pirate, the rogue, and the hired killer. It has been the place where those seeking to skirt the laws of more civilized nations to the north make landfall. It is here that the Red Wizards gain their access to the western heartlands, and where the cult of the dragon launches its plot to the south. It is here that independent secret societies and assassin guilds have their greatest power. The last semblance of organized resistance to this trend was the reign of Verovan, last of the King of Westgate. The monarchy of Westgate had long worked closely with the various mercantile and pirate factions, but Verovan attempted to stem the growing power of the merchant house and petty lords. His sudden and mysterious death, without acceptable heirs, in 1248 DR opened the door for much of what now is commonplace in the Dragon Coast: corruption and treachery. It should be noted that while Verovan's name is still venerated in these lands, better known is Imerk, the greatest of the Inner Sea pirate, a brash and flamboyant rogue who united a pirate fleet beneath him and ruled from 1164 DR to his death in 1201. Such it is in the Dragon Coast, that good people are venerated, but the power of darker rogues is imitated. Cool. Cool story, bruh. I just moonwalked over there, by the way.
What do you need? You want it? You've got it. You want it? You've got it.
Imoen is like moving from like one...
Don't worry about me.
One like container to another, like hee hee. And just like slowly like walking backwards.
Don't worry about me.
Nobody here. There's nobody here.
I care not. I am gone.
Bro. Moonsea we read. North one we read. Cool. We've seen those two.
Tell me. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me.
I've done had enough of this.
North 4 we've read. North 7 I'm not sure. As the dwarves settled in for the winter in the reclaimed city of Felbar, a group of Zhentarim-sponsored adventurers broke into the Great Worm Cavern, slaying Elrim the Wise, shaman leader of the Great Worm tribe. We've read this. Yeah, we've read both of these. Cool. I think she literally started opening the thing before she even reached it.
Give it to me. You want it? You've got it. You want it? You've got it. Don't worry about me.
Okay, so we haven't been in this house, and I think this is literally